FKA Twigs.
Damn.
Caprisongs, man. It's a mixtape. I guess not an album, right?
Her first mixtape. Yeah, definitely calling it a tape. Um, we make a lot of jokes about like the mixtape definition at this point because everything's available on streaming, everything's monetized. So the difference between an album is way less evident than it used to be back in the day. But come to understand that the mixtape meaning often has label implications in terms of contracts and stuff. And sometimes you have more creative freedom when you call something a mixtape. And maybe it doesn't suit the record contracts requirements, but you had more ability to do things with it. Now it seems like FKA Twigs calls this a mixtape, not for any of those reasons, but just because it's a lot looser and almost pop friendlier than her past, alt R&B music, which has been critically adored, has been. So I think it does kind of make sense that it's like to the side of the FKA Twigs canon, but to me, it's still a very significant release.
Yeah, it's it's funny when you think about mixtape and like you're I think really expertly laying out. Uh, you think about these it just kind of not being super cohesive, just kind of throwing stuff out there, and this definitely feels like that when you think about something like Magdalene from 2019.
Oh yeah,
Magdalene, I think it is
yep.
pronounced. Uh, so much more like cohesive, and the sound of it is all pretty singular, but it really comes together well. And the themes obviously are there. This jumps around from some of
Mm.
that like throwback sound, but then you get a little bit more rapping on this, some high
Yeah.
pitched rapping, reminding me a little bit of like Tierra Whack at times on
Mm.
this. You get some Afro beat, some dance hall, even some Asian influence. She's all over the map.
Some
But the
hyper
thing
pop
is,
like Charlie XCX.
yeah, oh, dude, she's definitely taken from Charlie XCX a few times on this. Uh, but the thing is, it's FKA Twigs, and it all fucking works, and it all just sounds really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I've been thinking about FKA Twigs a lot more recently because her best song ever, her biggest hit, 2 weeks, is just on TV in that Swarovski commercial recently,
Yeah.
like in the past few months. So I've heard that a few times on TV, and I'm like, yeah, man, that song's so good. It'd be nice to get some FKA Twigs again. This is her first release of any kind since the pandemic began. But as you said, Magdalene, critically adored, one of the best albums in that stacked 2019 music here. And I think it's cool to hear FKA Twigs kind of just letting loose, having fun, doing a lot of different stuff on this mixtape because it is coming in the wake of more challenges and tribulations in her personal life in terms of her lawsuit against former boyfriend Shia LaBeouf for domestic abuse and everything that entailed with that. Of course, Magdalene was coming in the wake of very serious, painful personal surgery, and responding to how her public relationship with Robert Pattinson had led to some online abuse for her. So she definitely seems to have been going through a lot of shit in the past like 5 years. I think it's cool to hear her have fun on something like this and kind of acknowledge that she's doing well. And musically, it's still very much, I think, strong creatively, which makes
Oh
it even
yeah.
better. So it's really cool to see something like in that like mixtape form that seems to still blossom like this.
Yeah, I think it's nice to just kind of hear her feeling like she doesn't have to like uphold this image. I think that's one of the things that I think about with FKA Twigs up until this album is it always felt like the person she was portraying herself as on her albums as an artist, as a pop star, were very like finely crafted, finely tuned, and this just feels looser and a little bit more confident to just be who she is. And I really loved hearing her just try stuff on this. Something like Poppy Bones, so dance hall. And is like the main producer on this with El Gincho,
Mm.
who is on a bunch of tracks, but it's just so. It feels almost like she just recorded it on her own and like put it out on SoundCloud in some sense, or just like dropped it. Like it feels not as like finely tuned as everything else on Magdalene was, but it just is really fun. And I think Shy Girl, who I'd never heard of, and her interplay, pretty fun on that. Um, I think it was a couple of tracks. It was the next track, or no, sorry, 2 tracks later. Jealousy, clear Afrobeat song, just her going off trying something else with Rima. I think that really works too. It's like fun to listen to her try that and put on these different hats, and um, yeah, it's just cool to see her going all over the map on this.
Yeah, totally. And not only is the variety, but the quality is still there. Like you
Mhm.
said, some Afrobeat, Jealousy with Rima, definitely some light Afrobeat production there. But I thought Twigs like spazzed on the chorus on that song. Sounds great. Um, Conversely, what's the song? How do you say it? Papal Mouse?
Pamplemousse.
Pamplemousse, which is a really short track, but clearly hyper pop production. And then at the end
Yeah,
of that, she kind of references her unreleased Dua Lipa collab and kind of poking fun at the hype
I don't
for
want to
that.
listen to it on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, which led me to doing the same. Uh, yeah. So, and then again, on the other side of things, you have the lead single, Tears in the Club, featuring The
Mm,
Weeknd. Crazy good bass,
yep.
amazing pre-chorus, really fun,
Mm.
catchy as hell song. Very catchiest song she's ever made. Great
Mhm.
music video too.
I was
That
gonna
song
say,
blows me away, honestly.
yeah, it's a really great song, and Abel obviously just
Yeah.
operating on the highest level right now.
No,
So
no
so cool to see
throwaway
them
from The
together.
Weekend either. It fits the song well. He's there for the video. Like everything's there.
Yeah, I never would have like thought of putting them together, but it really makes so much sense. Like I don't know how I never really thought of that pairing before.
Totally.
Um, yeah, and I think she also put out. I didn't watch it yet, but a music video for "Ride the Dragon," the
Yeah.
first track on this too.
It's
I
like
really
it's like
like.
lo-fi, like on the streets, like TikTok stuff.
Awesome, and I really love like how weird this song is. Obviously,
Mm.
there's some like Asian influence to the song, but like having the like call and response of like the super distorted like growling vocals back and forth, the song switching up with like the cassette sound every once in a while, uh beat kind of coming in and out. I thought that was really interesting and well done, and that's kind of like the weird FKA Twigs you expect,
Mm.
but it still just sounds really really fun.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd also like to acknowledge "Oh My Love." I thought that
Mm,
post-chorus, in particular from Twigs, definitely gave me more of a Tinashe vibe. The "Everybody Knows" part, in particular. "Everybody Knows You Want My Love" or whatever it goes. And then also "Light Beamers." Crazy
yeah,
vocal effects on that, but still really high energy.
yeah.
Again, the variety in sounds and production is so evident. Variety in performance as well, but it's just really fun. Obviously, there's a lot of songs here. It's 17 songs, 48 minutes, so not
I'll be
everything's
that guy.
amazing, but the variety definitely makes up for it.
One of the songs that was a clear standout to me in the best way possible, and then maybe in one of the most disappointing ways possible, was Darjeeling.
Yeah.
Because I love that song up until Unknown T comes in. And then I don't know why, but something about his feature just did not work for me on it.
Twigs
But
doing drill, UK drill.
yeah, and Twigs and Georgia Smith both sounding just
Mm,
impeccable and playing off each other so
yeah.
well on this. They didn't need Unknown T. I don't
No.
think. But
Apparently, Georgia Smith is a songwriter on the unreleased Dua Twigs collab as well.
mm,
Cool stuff.
interesting. Definitely for sure. Anything else on here you wanted to shout out?
No, I mean, we just shouted out like 7 songs. I think it's real good.
Yeah, it is real good. And I was thinking about this because you get early, get FKA, two people that made our best music of the year in 2018, 2019, respectively. Pretty early in the year to be putting out these albums that could potentially be
Mm. Not to
contention for
mention the
every year.
weekend last
Yeah,
week.
I know. Like, if this is the music year we're gonna get. Like every year, every week's just gonna be a banger.
Oh,
I'll take
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. No complaints here. We got more stuff coming. Earth Gang end of the month. Charlie XCX in March.
Hell yeah. Um, Check out our Nowstalgia Best of 2022 like we talked about, give us a follow there. And also, if you're on Spotify, just hop over to our podcast page and give us a 5-star rating and review. All right, it's
They don't
time
do
to.
reviews; it's just ratings.
That's true, but you can still review us if you want to. Just tell your friends about us.